So at one point, you ended up dissing Young Jeezy because you felt like he stole the yeah from you, right? Did you guys ever have a conversation, or were you
No, we
able to
never had
like?
a conversation about it. I gotta let this fucking dog die, man. Um, Again, I'm fresh to Interscope. It was only 3 trademarks in hip hop when I did that. The Wu-Tang had Sue, and Lil Jon would be like, yeah, okay. As far as I know, them the only joints that like
What about
proceeded.
Jada? Jada had
What
the
about?
aha, right?
No, he didn't. No,
No, not
this was
yet.
before that.
Oh, okay.
It was before that. This was before that. That came after a while. You know what I mean? That wasn't at that time. You talking about be like, hey, I know what you're talking about. No,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
wasn't that. When I was recording my album with Clark and dropping my mixtapes and all of that shit at the time, fucking with Who Kid and all that, time it would be off. I did a freestyle with Will Smith on it. It come on like, yeah, this Will Smith can on when I'm with Philly. And I did that because the intro, it was like, Daddy, boom, bye, yay. The champ is here. And then I had Will saying, the champ is here, Daddy.
Oh, from
Boom.
Ali.
So since I had him on my record, I did that. I would say right around that time is when kids started doing that sound effect. And he had plenty of dope shit out before that, then he wasn't doing it. So like it was something that he did, but it wasn't at the time when I was doing can ons. Like I started
Right.
that shit long before getting a deal or hopping on Who Kid. You know what I mean? And it was like, again, I just felt like the only sound effects that proceeded a verse other than "Hey Yo" came from Little John and the East Side Boys with "Okay, yeah," like they had put that together, right?
Right.
And then the Woo, that "Sue," that shit was so powerful. Like whether it was with a verse or not, it represented them. That's the only niggas I knew had a sound. You know what I mean? I'm lying. There was one more and I forgot about this, but it didn't come before the verses. It's murder that was around.
Right. For Ja
Like,
Rule.
so it was like certain shit just let you, like artists associated. So yeah, like, you know what I mean? So when I did that though, when it come to Jeezy, it was just like, hold up, dog. Like, it was just too much for me. Like, you know what I mean? At that time, I'm like, damn, on my cover, I got the Black Dickie on. My whole city known for throwing this shit on. It's a hustler. Like, this the back block drug dealer shit, right? So I got the Black Dickie on. You know what I mean? And then in one of the freestyles, this on my second mixtape. My first one was called The Cavalry. It was like an EP, maybe 6 songs. Then I doubled back with this shit called The Movement. Went bananas, right? So on The Movement, I rap about this cop that used to chase us and get the fuck on our nerves in my hood back to jungle on McMahon and Willow. His name was Pasquale. He drove a burgundy Ford Taurus with black tint. He was a fucking asswipe. You know what I'm saying? Like, period. You know what I mean? And I put it in the rhyme. Like, you know what I mean? I rapped about the Ford Taurus and all of that shit in the rhyme. You know what I mean? And this is my first CD. I got the Dickies on. I got the Dickies on. I'm rapping about the motherfucking Taurus and Gia Can Ons, right? So when I first hear Jeezy, it's yeah. And then I think, what song was it when he was like, Ford Taurus, pull up, everybody run. What song was that? My Hood, right? Every time I do it for my hood. Something, that genre, right?
Yeah, yeah. It is My
But if
Hood.
I'm
Yeah, that's
right,
right.
that was his first CD, right?
I believe so. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah. What Thug Motivation 101, right?
I couldn't tell you the title, but I believe it was his first CD. But anyway, I'm finding too many coincidences. Like, how the fuck, man? What? You know what I mean? And then he like, yeah, it was crazy. So I was just like, yeah, man, fuck it. I feel like he bit me. And then when I went down Atlanta, we went to the, when the All-Star game was Atlanta, me and my guys went down there and we passed out about a good 3, 4,000. It was a nice amount of CDs we passed out. They highway was so backed up, we literally was on the highway passing it out. And the only thing niggas was listening to that weekend was 50 Cent Get Rich or Die Trying, because that shit dropped and bombed everything. It stopped everything. That came out. And then the event weekend radio, because it was telling you what was popping, who was where. So now, a day after, like, ain't nobody telling me when I give him the CD, like, damn, you look like Jeezy with the Dickies. I thought if he would have came here and did that, niggas would have said something. Like, damn, this shit look like sand. Like, he'd have heard that. You know what I mean? Like, then, you know what I'm saying? Like, so ain't nobody telling me nothing about him. I'm not hearing none of that, because if I'm wearing a Dickie and he wearing a Dickie, like, I'll put this shit on my cover because I wore it every day. Like, a fresh Dickie was like, that's what we did. So I ain't hear none of that. And then within days, I say within the second day of us staying out there, we was at the Lenox Mall. Now niggas is riding by playing my shit. Like, I'm hearing it. Oh, I had a song called You're Wrong on my album. That shit is riding. Oh, shit. They tuning in. So no time down there did we hear a Jeezy. Like, it wasn't on the radio. It wasn't like, yo, them niggas got this club. Yeah, I mean, everybody got to go. I'll give you a better example. The re-up game, we went to Florida, right? And we did radio with, like, whoever they had as DJ was at the time. And Ross was there that night. He was on the radio too, right? And when I came in, everybody was talking about Plies. I didn't know what he looked like. I never heard the music. But he was the hot shit right now in Florida. And that's what they was talking about. That weekend in Atlanta, I will be honest, man. If I heard one nigga say, yo, you got to get that Jeezy shit or that mixtape, I'd have been on it. I'm out of town. They saying that's the shit. Let me peep it. I grew up listening to different, all we listened to was different music. Far Side, Outkast. Like, I'm from Philly. That shit, they hip hop wasn't my hip hop, but it was hip hop. And after learning and being able to appreciate they dialect and they slang and they bop, now I realize it is my hip hop. It's all the same. They just, you know what I mean? So I wouldn't have fronted on it. You know what I mean? And then I would have been privy to be like, no, he was already on that shit. Like, two great minds think alike. But none of that shit aimed at me like that.
I
I'm
was seriously
40.
about to ask you that. I was like, is it possible that two minds just think alike, geniuses think
Nothing
alike?
made me feel like that. Nothing made me feel like that. But I'm gonna say something. I'm 48 years old, and I'm only answering this question because I said some shit back in the day. But I ain't hung up on it at all no more. That shit been sell. Boy, 10-day platinum artist, all that, more respect to him. Like,
Right.
this was when he first dropped and when I felt like Interscope was going to get it right. Yeah, I mean, had Interscope got it right, one of us was going to have to stop saying that year shit. And it would have been the doper nigga. The doper nigga would have won. You know what I mean? Like, but, I'm
Do you
going to
chalk it
say,
up to like being young and like the things you cared about back then obviously change over time and you know what I mean? It don't matter to you now.
well, time changes everything, whether you let something go or not. Like,
Right.
so for me, it's like, oh, I'm not going to keep running around talking about Jeezy stole my year. Like, he did it. Nobody who ever used it exactly like me, because I said, yeah, can on. But if I'm new on the set and I'm pushing the yeah, can ons, and then my verse, I just give you the yeah when I feel like I want to be, you know what I mean? So, you hear Jeezy and it's like, who the fuck is main man and why? What is this shit? Like, you know what I mean? So I'm a hip hopper, I'm a rapper, and we could have rapped it out. Like, it ain't had to come to nothing. It could have just been, yeah, man, I think you heard my shit and ran with it. And he could have said, fuck you and rhyme for him or whatever. And, we could have got at it like that. But in hindsight, man, I don't give a fuck about that, man. I'm glad that nigga was able to do whatever he did from the time I first saw that video with that black Dickie on to now. You know what I mean? And he fed his family. Like, he fed his fucking family. He put himself in position. That's all any of us want, that really push this pen and then get over the other side. Like, I'm 2 record deals in now. So, something got to start counting is how I look at it. I don't feel like the game owed me. I just like it need to show me.
That's why, man, that's why I got mad love for you, Sam, because you're not a hater, bro. Just what you said right now about celebrating him and saying that you happy for his success and everything, it means a lot. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact, though.
Yeah.
You can't never be you can't never be mad at a man who was getting his. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I felt some type of way, but I felt some type of way earlier with intent on challenging him for that on that mic, like on the same level. I'm signing underscore big. What's up, dog? Like, I mean, I wanted to go at it like it's hip hop. You know what I mean? So once I realized that wasn't going to happen, I was kind of mad when niggas brought it up. And like, it kind of don't matter now. Like, he kind of ran with it, and you know, it's a staple of his as well as his mind. You know what I'm saying? I'm forever underground. I'm 2 deals in, but I'm an underground apex ball. You know what I'm saying? I represent the soil. You feel me? So, you know, he got it his way. I got it mine.